Welcome everybody to Infinite Galaxies, Empire of the Dying Sun, Session 2. This is presented by the Gauntlets Hangouts. Highly recommend the Gauntlet as an online community. It's a great resource for anyone looking for new players or interesting games to play. With us, I'm the Game Master, Rory McLeod, and also the creator of Infinite Galaxies. With us, we have our players, Simon Landreville, Michael Mendoza, S. Thomason, and Alejandro Duarte. They all introduced characters in Session 1. We have the following characters real quick. Simon is playing Plex the Robot. Michael is playing Fabienne the Ace. Alejandro is playing Valeric the Scientist. And Ash is playing Vector the Leader. So as we left off last time, we have a milestone that we introduced last time that's still unresolved, although I think we're pretty close to resolving it, which was to extract Professor Ameron from the floating city. So we will tackle that momentarily. However, as I mentioned before we started broadcasting, we have a number of things that we need to name in this setting. So we're going to go ahead and do that first, and then we will jump into the action. So I'm just going to go down the list that I just went through the logs and look at the setting notes, which I'll update periodically as we go along here. But I wanted to go through these items. So the first thing was Vector. So your character's last name is Main. Is that the name of your noble house as well?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh, so it's not the main house.
It's not the main house.
It's the back house. It's the servants' quarters. So what do you want to call your noble house?
I had not gotten there yet, but I don't think it should be called the main house. That's what I am for sure on.
Okay. Well, since you said you had a name for the Emperor and the Emperor's daughter, I can steal one of those names that I have, because I made like some name suggestions just in case you guys couldn't come up with anything. So
okay.
How about Neriel? That sounds kind of cool.
Neriel?
N-E-R-I-E-L.
Neriel?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So it is written, so it shall be done. All right. Yeah. Oops. I spelled right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to erase those. I'll keep them just in case we need them. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to name Fabienne's noble house. So Fabienne, any ideas on your character? Because your character doesn't have a last name, do you?
She did.
Oh, do you want that to be the name of the noble house? It doesn't have to be.
Oh, no, that sounds fun with me. Sure.
Okay. All right. I didn't realize you had a last name. I don't know where I missed that. Okay. Cool. All right. And then Valeric, who looks like he stepped away, so we'll come back to that. Oh, he's back, I think. Yes. I see a thumbs up. Can you hear me? Or you're muted?
Yeah. No, I'm listening. So,
okay.
Yeah. So Brawl as the noble house, is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, the name of your character's noble house.
Well, I didn't come up with I thought I had a mixing my games up.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
that comes to mind, or I have some things that I came up with if anyone got stuck.
Okay. If you want to give me a minute, I can think of it. If you want to throw out ideas, that'll also be fine too.
Okay, no, let's do that. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
All right, so the next one we have is there's a noble house that no one belongs to that's Vector's rival. So I have a couple of ideas. Does Vector's player have any ideas, Mr. Ash?
Yes, the Autumn Star.
Autumn Star. All right, is that all one word or two words?
All one word.
Okay. I can spell star. Okay, cool. All right, so we have that. And then you said you had a name for the Emperor.
Yes. Emperor Zhao.
This is Z. How do you spell
that? Z-H-O-U.
O-U. All right, so like okay. All right, cool. And then what about the Emperor's daughter?
Z.
What, Z-E?
X-I.
Oh, X-I. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. And then, all right, so the next thing we need to name is so there's this agency that is after both Plex and Valeric for different reasons. Plex because he used to be property of them, and Valeric because he stole an AI from them. So we need to name this agency. So I have a couple of suggestions, but I'm also willing to listen to ideas. So the names I came up with were Black Scorpion, the Serpent, the Blood Brotherhood, or the Dread Ministry.
Amongst the names that you've put, Black Scorpion is definitely my favorite.
Black Scorpion, huh? Anybody else have a preference?
I like it. I think the scorpion should be the symbol of the emperor.
Emperor. Okay, cool. All right, what do you think?
Oh,
Michael, are you good with that? Here, I see you nodding. All right, that's
cool.
it. That's the name.
yeah, maybe the symbol of the emperor is like a gilded scorpion, something like that, and the military police, the Black Scorpions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And they traditionally wear black cloaks. Like, so.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, and then we have the core system of the empire. So this is where like the imperial seat is, the emperor, all his family usually is. Like we need to name this system. So I have a couple of.
Is the emperor always been like this house or this noble house, or has it changed in the past?
I don't know. It's a good question. So, do you guys think this empire is really old, or is it relatively new? Or if it's relatively new, it's probably been the same house the entire time, like a dynasty. If it's a really old empire, then probably not. There's probably been some changeover from time to time, I would think.
The goal of that question is, if it's been a long time it's the same house, it should match the name, more the type of naming of the emperor.
Okay. Okay.
How about Seoul?
So
Soul. Okay, like just the word soul.
SOL.
SOO.
I'm
I
just throwing
thought
that out
Seoul.
there. I'm not saying.
I like that. We keep with the Dying Sun theme.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the home.
Well, that's going to be
world of-
confusing because that's the name of our system. Where
That's
Earth is.
right.
mm,
Well, it's because it is.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm throwing that out there.
mm.
Well, is that what you guys want to do? You want this to be based in Earth?
No, I don't think so.
Oubliette.
Hmm?
Oubliette.
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 That's a weird word for a solar system.
I know. I always forget what it means. I know it means something.
Can't think of the word in English.
Secret dungeon with access only through a trapdoor in its ceiling.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I do like the idea of having it named similarly to the Emperor.
I feel like that should be the name of the secret refuge colony.
Yeah,
Oubliette.
that's true. Well, Nirvana works really well too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
Nirvana.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
we already named
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Okay. So
We'll name something Oubliette. Don't worry.
yeah, we'll name something. Maybe when your ship
We'll
blows
throw
up,
them in
they
the
won't
oubliette.
be- Yeah. Okay.
How about-
So
How about just something key? How about what's the French word for scorpion?
Scorpion.
almost
Almost same thing.
a little on the nose there. We could go with something that's kind of Asian flavored, like the name of the
Yeah.
emperor and his family, like Shang or something.
Well, scorpion Chinese. What is that?
Oh, that might be a good idea. I'll let someone look that up. So I don't feel like it.
Well, interestingly enough, in Mandarin, at least, or the word for scorpion is Z XIE, which is pretty similar to the daughter's name. Now let's see what Cantonese can tell us.
Yeah. We could always change the emperor's name, emperor's daughter name too.
Oh, maybe she's. Yeah, maybe that's the family name. Maybe he's Zi Zhao. And so let's do that. So
Okay, let's do that. And that way we can.
And
So then we could
Timothy
call the system Z if you wanted to.
Z Safara. Why don't we just go with that?
Done.
Call her Z
Oh,
Safara.
okay.
And then, yeah, I like Z system. Sure, why not?
All right, cool. All right. Okay.
I found a relationship that I think is more interesting between Vector and Valric.
Oop, okay.
Vector Vector must push me to try new things.
Okay,
How do you feel about that, Vector?
sounds good.
Now, is that from the Scientist Playbook, or is that from another one?
That's from the Ace.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yep. Yeah, I thought it sounded familiar. Okay, cool. All right, so last thing we need to name is the name of the planet where the floating city is located.
Oubliette.
That can work.
Sure.
Nah, this is like the main planet. Like, call something silly like that.
It's the main planet. Oh.
Let's see. Well, what do we know? We know it's got a floating city, and it's the.
It's a
Arborea.
gas giant, so it's not. I guess it's not the main, because we talked about there being like a planet where, like, this wouldn't be the planet where the humans originated from, because this is a gas giant, as we talked about. I guess it doesn't have to be, but that's what we talked about last time. The floating city was like above a gas giant. What's that?
Oh no! It was a joke.
Oh. Anybody want to look at some more Chinese names?
How about Arborea?
Arborea. That sounds like a forest planet. It's a Flash Gordon planet, actually.
Is it
That's
really?
right. It is. It's
Yeah, it's a Flash Gordon movie.
that's where Prince Baron comes from.
Yep,
Who could forget?
that's okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's also playing skate. God.
The suggestions I have are, well, this is before I knew about all the naming scheme here, but I had Mar, Thesis, and Romea were the three that I came up with. But we could
How about Ravenmont?
Ravenmont. All right, that sounds good. We need to. Sounds good. We'll put that in there for now. Okay. Cool. All right. So. Oops. All right. Put my notes in here so I know that we started. Okay. So. All right. So we still have this milestone, as I mentioned. Extract Professor Amaron from the floating city, which you are attempting to do. We also still have a ongoing modifier. So Vector provided Valor +1 ongoing to create device from your sound approach move. And technically this is still, well, let's see. What does the wording on that move say? Does it say it lasts for just the current scene? So I think that would be over with.
As I recall, it was for the session, and unfortunately, I forgot to grab my character sheet from downstairs. So
All right, I've got it in front of me. Let me just look at it.
Oh, but I have it on the spreadsheet. That's right. I put it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, so it looks like it would end at the end of the scene anyway, in either way, because if you look at the way this is worded, any success, it gives them a bonus until they fail, and if you get a complete success, which is better, it lasts for the rest of the scene. So it sounds to me like it probably ends at the end of the scene. So I think that's probably over with now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, cool. So that's gone. That's okay. So at the end of the session, your characters had made it to the landing platform. You had rushed across the landing platform. There were some guards, I think, that were potentially going to cause you trouble, but you were able to evade them. And you got to the Vespera. And so you are, and as you were boarding your vessel, 4 Imperial fighters appeared nearby, looming just past the landing platform. So that's where we finished. So why don't we pick it up from there? So, why don't we, the first thing I want to do, number one, so there's a new session. So I believe our leader gets all of his reserve back.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, you started session with 3 reserves. You got that back. You could choose, this is a new scene, so you could choose to do sound approach again if you want. You don't have to. But that is typically when you do it.
Right. But so do we have to? If we were to get, how easily is it for us to get away? I mean, is it we just get out of the atmosphere and then hit the button and then we're gone, or do we have to? Is this going to be a long drawn out them chasing us?
It depends on what you want to do. So maybe you should talk about that. If you want to, so you have a couple options here. Your characters have on your ship, which I should check this. I assume you have this on your ship. If you don't, it's going to complicate things. Let's take a look.
Speed -1.
No, it's not that. I want to see if Michael, do you have all the equipment on your ship that you picked up?
Let me.
Let's see. Because you have some choices.
Sorry, I didn't assign it yet. I'm actually I'm opening up.
Okay.
Yeah,
because the key thing is if you're going to leave the star system, right? Like if you were going to go really far away, there is an item called the matter antimatter engine, which basically allows you to do interstellar travel. So if you don't have that, then you would have to hitch a ride on a bigger ship like a cruiser or something in order to travel between systems. It's still possible, but it's a little easier when you have your own ship that can do that sort of thing.
Yeah, and since I was operating under the assumption that we'd be conducting, searches for, we'd be exploring galaxies for stable suns. I would imagine I would have equipped that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Your ship would have that. So why don't we go ahead?
So yeah, actually, here's my question. I think this is what tripped me up from equipping last session. So I see under the equipment category that the ship starts with 4 modules.
Yep.
And then I also see another column that says choose 2 of the following options, and I assume those are not modules.
So modules are slots that you can stick certain items into on your ship.
Oh, okay, but they're not. Okay, so the modules aren't actual equipment. It's just space for equipment.
It's space for equipment. So certain vessel things have a module tag. That means they have to go into one of those slots.
I gotcha.
If it doesn't have the module tag, you can just have it. That doesn't affect that stuff.
Yeah, I think I was wanting to consult the group on the options. So I guess
the other thing real quick is the package that you picked for your ship may also give you an item. So
I think we selected the scientist package.
Yeah, I believe you get like probes or something that I don't know. I don't remember if those take up a module slot or not.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any specific equipment in the package description. So let's.
I thought at the bottom there was a. Let me take a look at it. I thought at the bottom, the science one. Let me see. Ship.
It says deploy probes. When you deploy your ship's probes, roll sensors, complete success. Get 3 probes each.
So the third thing under science says improve scanner array. Add an improve.
There it is.
And it.
Okay.
Why does it say sensor array? Hold on. I'm probably going to have my layout guy fix that. I don't think that's right. Anyway, yeah, so you have improved sensor array. It takes up a slot. It has 1 weight. Basically, it adds +1. Well, also it's up there. You can see what it says. But anyway, it adds to your sensor array when you're scanning planets and places, which sounds like something you'll probably do.
Yeah, I'll add that.
So you got that, and then you've got a number of choices you can make. You've got 4 module slots. You're not going to run out. And then what size is your ship?
I went for medium.
Medium, okay. So the medium ship has this thing called a maintenance requirement, which is a 1 right now. So if you get any other items that have a maintenance requirement or MR, that adds up. And what the maintenance requirement is, this is the amount of credits that have to be paid every session in order for your ship to be usable. So this is like an abstract concept where you're fixing minor things, or you're, refueling the plasma drive or whatever the hell it is, right? You're just doing maintenance stuff on the ship. So it's also meant to be kind of a counterbalance to having really cool stuff on your ship. So so having a 1 maintenance requirement means each session, probably this one, somebody will need to pay a credit to keep the ship going. And then if you get anything else that has a maintenance requirement, like sick bay or there's a bunch of stuff on here that has maintenance requirement. Actually, there's only a couple things on there that do. There's also, which is not in this PDF, so if you guys are interested and have time to do so, there is a list of vessel items that you can pick up as well, but you don't really have time to deal with that right now. But just FYI, there are other vessel items that you can get.
Do we want a sick bay? I mean, I figure we should probably have some kind of medical facility.
Do we have somebody that can run it, though?
That's a good question.
So nobody right now has a move that heals people. I don't believe. But what the sick bay does right now, I'll just let you know what that does. I don't know if this is something you're going to want to do. Basically, what happens is when you try to recover wounds and you're just like resting, your character, if the other characters are doing stuff, they basically have to skip a scene. So, or 2 scenes, I'm sorry. So the sick bay reduces that to 1 scene. But that's only if you're recovering wounds. Like if your character's like horribly messed up. So normally you're not going to have to worry about this. So I don't know if the sick bay is something that you're going to want. If you had somebody who had healing moves, it gives them a bonus to those. But if you're just like, if no one has any healing moves and you're just sitting there waiting to recover, it reduces the amount of time that takes. So I don't know if you guys think that's a priority or not.
I could skip it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does the engineering room do?
So the engineering room is a similar thing. It gives you, if the robot has to recover his wounds, it helps him with that. It also gives a +1 to things dealing with the ship. So like if you're trying to repair the ship or modify the ship, it adds +1 to that.
Huh.
Well, I'm quite sure that Valeric would like that module.
Yeah, that's
As
way
with
more important than safety.
As with the pilot.
Really.
All right, engineering room it is, because I hear approval from 3 out of the 4 of us.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of folks would be interested in that. So now keep in mind that does add to the maintenance requirement.
Oh right, yeah. I was just about to ask what MR was. Thanks for the
Yep.
reminder.
Yep.
But yeah, let's do that thing.
So I'm noticing that the other nav and matter antimatter engine have 3 uses. Is that fuel? Is that the idea?
Essentially, yeah. So every time you use it, you're going to market use of it, and then there's a move that you roll to see if you get to where you're going. Well, you get there. It's a matter of if you get there safely.
Right. And then we can recharge that as well for some money. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
anything with uses or ammo or recharge, every time you get to a city or a spaceport or a large capital ship, there's a restock move that allows you to get those uses back. It just assumes that you do stuff, as long as you spend a reasonable amount of time there. I mean, if you're there for 10 minutes, probably not. But if you're there for some period of time, you shop, you aren't required to spend any money on it. You get it back.
Got it.
And there's other ways you can get it back too. Like I was saying last time, if you scavenge some broken down shipping, you may find some parts that are the equivalent of uses of something. You can make the case, hey, can I recover a couple of uses of my Starship repair tools? Sure.
Right. So for module 4, my recommendation is a cloaking device or a weapon of some sort. I'm not looking at the list, but I'm just thinking of what might be useful for us.
Yeah, I'm not certain that we get more. I mean, I think that's all the equipment we get. So if you'd like to drop one of the existing things, we could do that, or otherwise just wait until.
Well, right now, since you guys don't have time to make these changes, we're just going to go with the default stuff that you get. When you guys have a chance to make changes, you can. But these choices should have been made last time, so your characters don't really have the opportunity to do a bunch of that stuff. You will. Let's just set the default. This is what it is now, and then you guys can mess around with it later.
So you only get 3 modules, not 4.
He's got 4 slots, but right now he only has.
You get to use 2 things.
Yeah, he only has 2 things to take up module slots, so he's only going to get 1 more thing right now.
So we could theoretically get.
Oh wait! Oh, I do get to fill that 4th module?
No, because you won't have anything to put in it.
Right.
Because you get 2 items from that list.
And then 1 from the
Not
package.
all of those take up modules, right? Most of them do. But and then you had the one from your science package, the scanning module. So
Okay, gotcha.
So you get 2 and then the additional 1. Got it. Understood.
Right. The most he can take up right now is 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like almost everything on this list takes up a module slot. I'm looking real quick. Yeah, I think everything on the list takes up module slots. So yeah, he's going to fill up 3 of them, no matter what he does. And so that capacity thing is like the load value for your character. So you'll see you've got it's 4 plus the vessel's power, and then you'd add 4 because your ship's medium sized.
So I would like to propose this thing though. Maybe the first thing we add to the ship is an engineering room, but it may be useful since we have a very slow ship to either add a weapon or some sort of, I don't know if there's a cloaking device on there or not, but
there's not in the free stuff they use to pick.
Okay.
For weapons, here's what let's see what's available for weapons.
Because otherwise we're going to go slow, and these 4 ships are going to, and then we have nothing we can do.
I see.
Well, your ship has default weapons. They just don't have any special bonuses. You can still fight.
Oh, okay.
But the weapons in his list are better. They give you bonuses to damage and stuff like that.
I see.
So.
Oh, I see. There's a D6 damage, so they come with weapons and shields. So yeah.
Yeah, very few vehicles in the game don't have the ability to fight, like shuttles and stuff. Sometimes don't, but no, like a PC ship's gonna have guns on it.
So we're good then.
Yeah. Well, but you could get better guns. I mean, if that's what you want. So it sounds to me like you're picking the nav and emitter antimatter engine, which is the thing that allows you to travel between star systems. So you're really just trying to decide between one more thing.
And how quick can we use that? Can we just punch it now and then boom, we're gone?
Well, you'll have to decide where you want to go, which I don't know that you have that decision made. And the other part is you're going to have to make a roll. Someone's going to have to roll to do that.
Pilot.
Isn't
I don't think you know where you want to go yet.
Is there anything like a fake ID thing for the ship?
That is in the smuggling package. That is not a thing you can start with because he's a science ship.
Okay. Okay.
But yes, it does exist. Yes.
Transceiver.
Yeah, there's a falsified transponder or something that's called.
Transponder.
Those inconspicuous. Yeah, there's some smuggling package has some moves related to that. All right. So if you need, because some of these it doesn't explain what they are. So if you need me to explain what some of these things are, I can tell you.
So how about so we get on the ship. We have the professor with us.
Well, let's hold on before we get to that. Let's settle what he's getting for the ship, and then because he still has to decide.
Oh, you mean it's I think I.
Did you decide on the other thing?
Engineering room, right? I think.
Yeah, engineering room.
Oh, I thought you guys were putting that off for later. Okay.
Oh no, I think we decided. Once you let us know that we do have default weapons, I think we decided to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, all right, yeah. So the engineering room. I thought I had this. No, that does. I mean, I do, but what's it not? That's that thing. Engineering room. Yeah, +1 to repair or modify vessels or robots. Yep. Q. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah. So let's then jump into what you guys want to do. All right. So you're on the ship. You're taking your stations on the ship, and yeah. So you guys would also hear over your radio that the floating city is being put into a lockdown.
That explains the Imperial fighters.
You can probably figure out why, but if you can't, you could stop and ask somebody. I feel like you probably figured out though. But anyway, so there's that. Okay.
So I think we should question. I'll question the professor. Interrogate him. So where's Nirvana? What was his name again?
Professor Ameron. Well, he's unconscious, so someone's going to have to wake him up.
Wake up!
All right. You can definitely do that. Okay. So, where is Nirvana?
In space.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another star system. It's not on the normal. It's basically, to most pedestrian travelers, it is not on their star charts, or they can't. It's not. It's called unknown space to most folks. So if you were just looking at a general chart of the nearby star systems, it would not appear on there. So since he is knowledgeable about such things, he knows where it is. What's that?
Give us the coordinates.
Well, why would you want to go there?
Well, first things first, we've got Imperial fighters after us right now.
Yes.
Well, are they after us, or are they just like imposing a lockdown on the planet?
You know, you can hang out and wait and see what they do.
No, I don't want to wait.
All right, no
I leave
waiting.
that up to our pilot. He can wait if he wants, but
Yeah. Okay.
if it were up to me, I'd say let's go.
Fabian, Darting, if you could get us out of here, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. Without the Nirvana coordinates, I think I'm just going to have to.
So he can tell you, he can basically tell you how to do it, but he's going to have to spend some time plugging it into your systems because it's not on the known navigation charts.
Mm-hmm.
So he can do that. If that's where you want to go, he can help you do it, but it's going to take a little time. So which means you'll have to deal with these fighters for a short period of time.
Right. So I'm in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and just start engaging some evasive maneuvers. Just
Okay.
a little.
And maybe he has some cybernetic computer or something that he can interface briefly with the system to transmit the coordinates.
Do we really want that though? Just saying.
Well, he's got his dampener.
Yeah, with the he's got Daphner, but the hardware has this super awesome gilded scorpion on it.
Yeah.
That we don't like.
Yeah, we don't like that.
You also, I should probably tell you, you feel like that dampener's not going to last forever either.
Okay, so we got to get out of the system because the Wi-Fi has a range, and we need to get out of that range.
Let's hope the range is interstellar, but yeah, good idea. All right.
That's always a good question in space. Do we have faster than light communication?
So that's a good question. So your communicators that your characters have can go like from orbit to a planet. That's about it.
Light speed communication.
Yeah, and your standard communicators do not have that capability. I would say that your ship, given what we know about that, we're only dealing with a few star systems in this setting at this point. I think probably you do. I think that's not too far to try to communicate.
Maybe some communication buoys or hubs.
Yeah.
What's the method of faster light travel?
So the default tech in the game is this matter-antimatter engine, which is what we talked about earlier. And what it does is it creates a small black hole inside the ship and collapses the ship into this black hole, and then it sends you through this alternate dimension to where you're trying to go, and then you appear.
Nice. I'll be looking forward to the first 6 minus on that.
Yeah. So that's why there's a roll involved. Yeah. So when you guys do get a chance, so basically what the professor's going to do is he's going to start working on that,
Right.
and it'll take some period of time. And so when he's done, I'll let you know, and you can punch it. But in the meantime, you need to figure out what you want to do with these fighters.
This ain't like dust and crops, boy.
That's right.
All right. So maybe we cannot go out of a system right now, but just out of the planet will be really awesome.
Yeah.
We can start there.
So you want to try to evade these fighters? Is that what I heard from Fabian?
Yeah, that would be nice, just to buy some time until we can get ourselves jump ready.
Okay, so we'll call the fighters a threat, obviously, and so there is a move, vessel move. So if you guys look at your moves, you will notice that on the second page of the moves there are some vessel moves. There are 5 of them, and one of them is called evasive action, which uses the vehicle speed. Now, the other thing I want to point out before we start is that the ace has a move that allows them to shift around some of the ship's abilities, which might be a good idea if you're planning to do something and our ship's not terribly good at that. But you do have to take stats from other So it's not always a great idea. It depends. So
yes, and again, the stats are power, speed, a sensor, and weapon.
weapon, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Can I support him or help him?
You can help him with the shifting stuff around. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, I do have to actively raise shields. That's the thing, right?
So your shields are normally whatever they are. I think they're what, 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the raised shields move increases them temporarily above the 3. So
okay.
unless they're completely shut down, but I assume you did that already as you're going to take off. I mean, they're at the normal 3. It's just that they, you can use raised shields to increase them beyond 3 temporarily.
In that case, I might be inclined to try to increase speed because that's, we don't. This thing is not built for speed.
Right.
So, Valeric, if you want to help me out with that, I think that might be the way to go. If that's
so, how does helping work?
So here's a question. Do you have a relationship with? Fabian has a relationship regarding somebody's training somebody in their ship duties. Who is that?
Oh, it's Vector.
Okay.
It's Captain.
So the only thing you have to do is have
him
do something on the ship, basically, and you're triggering that. So
right. Well, I am telling him to. Well, I think as soon as we left planet, I would have wanted Vector to get the coordinates out of the professor. So
okay.
I could have been I could have been the one to prompt Vector to slap the professor back into being awake. Perhaps.
Okay. That's not okay. Well, just keep that in mind because that's not really his ship. Like I'm picturing that as being something to do with the ship, right?
So I got you.
I'm trying to kind of point you in that direction. So I don't have you right this second. I'm just saying keep that in mind because you'll probably want to try to do that at some point. Like he could raise the shields or he could fire a gun or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's a good point because I mean any kind of flag / drive thing I always have trouble, or relationships I always have trouble keeping track of. So thanks for
that's why I'm here to help. So all right. So so we're gonna do reroute systems.
Yeah.
And you're going to aid from Valeric. Now, Valeric, do you have a relationship with Fabian related to any of this?
Fabian must help me find the way out.
That's not Valeric.
Fabian must protect me from trouble. So
okay. I think this I think that's going to happen. All right, cool. So, all right. So you have a
trouble.
Yep. So when you aid, all you're doing is giving them a bonus. So you don't have to roll anything. You just say, I'm doing it, and you give them +1. The downside is, in certain situations, if they fail, then bad things could also happen to you. In this case, you're all on the same ship, so that's going to happen anyway. So, anyway, all right. So go ahead and roll. I believe you use int for this. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right, let's roll.
Do we, also, I roll my attempt and then the aid attempt afterwards?
No, the aid is just a +1.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay, so I'm rolling and then so that's +2, +3. Okay, and then I got generated a 12 total. Thank you, Valeric.
And let me look real quick. What you took? Oh, you took. Okay. Okay. Did you also want to use? Well, okay. Just remember that you have the Tinker move here. The Tinker move also lets you increase some stuff.
Oh, is that something you can do on the on the run as opposed to when you're in dock or something?
I mean, yeah, probably not right now, but just keep that in mind. It lasts for a scene. It lasts until the end of the next scene, so that's something that if you have time to do before you leave somewhere, you should probably do.
Cool.
Because it's a cool thing you can do. Okay, anyway, so what'd you get? You got a 12, right? So that gives you, you can move around stuff 1 for 1, right?
Okay, yes. I'm thinking we don't need sensors right now to that much of a degree. Is that correct? Is that what people figure? So I could, so I can I can take the sensors down to 0 and then get our speed back up to 0. And I'll just put that in the condition column here.
Sure.
And how much further, like stats go to -1, so technically I could like even take it down further if I wanted to.
Yeah, I think the move says you can only lower them to a -1.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look at it real quick.
Yeah,
this ability cannot be reduced below -1.
Okay.
Or above
and then And if it's a partial success, I'd have to spend 2 points to get to that one.
Right.
Gotcha. Well, okay. I guess we're not entirely a
Oh, and you can
setting,
pull
right?
from multiple abilities. So if you wanted to take one from weapon and one, not that you want to, I'm just saying, one from weapon, one from sensor, and get a 2 to speed, you could do that too.
Okay. I think I'll leave.
Leave weapon on.
Yeah, definitely. And power. What is power?
Power is the thing that the shields are going to use if you need to use
Leave
that.
that be too.
Yeah, you might want to.
Yeah,
Right.
it's all right to go blank. I need someone to say like I'm rerouting power to the thruster or something like that.
I think that's what's happening.
Yep.
Nice.
Beep 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 boop.
All right, cool. So
All
you,
right.
you did that. So your speed is now
Done.
0. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. So now we're going to roll evasive action.
All right. Rolling with just a flat roll at this point,
you go.
and it's okay.
Let's dance.
Well.
Now you do have a leader who has fresh full of reserve if you need help.
Yeah. Can you spend 2 on this?
I don't think so. I think I can only spend 1.
Only 1. Okay. In that case, save it because I rolled. I generated a 5.
Okay. Let me check orders real quick. Yeah, +1 to any result. Yeah, that's just 1. Yep. Okay.
Do we this is a XP for failures game, right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No. You get XP for triggering drives and relationships and your milestones. Okay. So I think the most obvious thing to have happen here. So you take off. Your ship is still a bit of a tub, and so you try to kind of outmaneuver these fighters. They're way faster than your ship, and so they just do like a strafing run on your ship.
Flex. Oh, go ahead.
Flex jumps out and defends the ship. No, that'd be bad. Don't do that. I mean, if you really have to, but anyway. So I want to introduce another thing that's kind of new in this game is the concept of a minion group. So these bad guys are all part of one group of bad guys, and minion groups can be ships or they can be PC or NPCs, right? So they all act as one thing. They all have one pool of hull, which hull is like vitality for ships. And as you damage them, their number gets reduced and they become less effective. So this is a minion group of 4 fighters. And so when they do damage equal to the number of them that there are plus a d4. So your ship is going to take a d4 plus 4 because they're at full thing. So traditionally, I have the person who blew it roll the damage. So when we have Michael roll that.
All right. I'm rolling a d4.
D4 plus 4.
Okay. So let me give myself a d4.
You have shields of 3, so you have a decent chance of not taking a ton of damage here.
All right, and we're re-rolling, and oh, good, I maxed out.
Well, and then there's that. So they hammer the ship for, I believe, 5 hull.
Yep.
Out of what, 12?
I thought 13, but let me confirm that. Nope, it's 12. It was 12.
It was 12.
So
All
now
right.
we are at 7.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So
Flex.
yeah.
Get to the gun bay.
Yes. Yes, sir. With pleasure.
All right. Cool. All right.
And I'll grab a sake bottle and I'll uncork it and pour 2 shots, one for me and one for the professor.
All right. He's sure he downs that real quick. It's been a while since he's been in a space combat. So okay. So who wants to do what now? Sounds like Plex wanted to get on the guns.
Yeah, I believe
All
that's
right,
what's
cool.
going to happen. I don't have the moves in front of me.
Okay, so there's a move called Fire at Will, which is your vessel move that involves shooting stuff.
Mhm.
And it uses the ship's weapon stat, which I believe is currently a 0.
No, I think it's a 1.
It's a 1?
Weapon is a 1.
Cool. So you roll and add 1.
Roll for your party. And it's a grand total of 10.
All right. So on a complete success, you do your damage to the target. You may choose to add an additional d6 to the damage, and you'll expose your vessel to their attack.
That's going to be enough exposure for now.
Okay.
I did.
So your ship does a d6.
It's a 5.
Okay. So they do have a bit of shields. However, you are able to penetrate their shields, and you actually take out one of the fighters. So now there's only 3 left. So
that should help.
yeah. So who wants to jump in here?
Can we hit the floor, hit the pedal to the metal, and just like burn one of those uses of our fuel and get out of here? Has the professor given up the information that we need to get out of here?
Not yet. He's still working on it, and you distracted him with the whiskey, so now he's scared of
Okay.
sake. So.
Can I? I don't know if I mean, it might be too late for this, but can I like scramble their sensors so they can't figure out who we are?
Yeah, it's about late for that. I mean, they know at this point who you are. You could try to. What could you do?
Make it look like our real ID was a fake ID, like some other ship was using our ID.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. That's probably not going to affect these fighters because they're already attacking you. Like that's
no. I mean, I'm more concerned about like getting like incriminated with the kidnapping. You know what I mean? Like trying to
maybe. How about this? Maybe you could scan them and get a weakness in the fighter design that could be exploited. Because you know that ship type or something. That seems pretty engineering.
Yeah, that would be that, but that would just amount to a helping die or a helping bonus. I'm thinking more longer term, like.
Yeah, that's something you could totally do. It's probably not going to affect this right now, but I mean, it would be useful if you guys go somewhere. Certainly, that you're not recognizable. Yeah, totally. I can see that. So, do you want to start working on that?
I think I've got something that might slow him down at least for a second.
So just real quick. So we'll use your create device move for that, and we'll say that. Let's see. So you will have to partially deconstruct the sensors to do that. So that will it'll basically take one off the sensors until you have a chance to fix it. And you'll need one of the other PCs to help you. So they will have to do stuff to help you while this is going on. That sounds good.
Is anybody else able to help me?
Well, yeah, I'm certainly willing. If my darling can handle the combat while I'm working on that.
So do you want to? So Vector, do you want to jump on the guns, or do you want to?
No, I'm gonna hit the communicate button and start yelling at these guys and telling them how dare they shoot upon a noble ship from House Nerial.
Okay. All right.
Back
cool.
off immediately. I'm going to command them to immediately back off.
Okay. So, all right. So let's see.
As I shoot another shot of sake.
All right. So this sounds like the closest thing we've got. Probably you defy danger using your charisma. See if you can convince them.
Okay.
So you don't really have a move related to that sort of thing. We'll use that.
I don't believe I do.
Yeah.
But let's see. I do have reserve benefit though. And let me see on, okay, that's damage or armor though. Okay.
Which one do you have right now, by the way?
Damage.
Okay.
I think that'll be the default unless I change it.
Okay. That would, if you shot the guns, it would add to that too, by the way. Just FYI.
So defy danger. So I got a total of 6, and I will I can use a reserve on myself.
I don't think so. I think it says ally. Yeah, grant an ally. That is not you.
Okay.
Unfortunately. All right. So
too much interference.
Yep.
They're not getting it.
Yeah, you think it sounds like they're jamming your they're trying to jam your transmission, so that's probably causing trouble. Okay,
So I'm willing to help whoever now.
all right. So as you're doing this, we'll say that you're in front of one of the consoles. The various throughout the ship. There's various consoles where you can do stuff, and you notice another ship has lifted off from nearby, so from the floating city. You don't know what it is, but there's some kind of a ship with approximately the same size as your ship. All right. So Violet is still doing his thing. Plex is helping him. So let's jump back to Fabian. What do you want to do?
Let's see. I think we can still take. I want to see if I can instead of rolling and tucking. I'm going to see if I can do a tuck and roll.
Okay.
Basically, just try to. Maybe I could just try to do the kind of maneuver where you just slow down suddenly and then hope that they pass you up, and then you can then I could try to shoot it off in a whole different direction. So that kind of maneuver. So I might want to try to attempt another evasion.
Okay. Now, do you want to have a Vector do something?
Oh,
you have a co-pilot seat that's probably open next to you. You could
maybe get ready to raise the shields if we screw this up again.
That sounds. You might want to do that first, actually.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. I don't think it's being equal. Why don't we go ahead and try that? So
okay.
That's the roll plus power.
Yep. So that uses the ship's power, which is 0.
It's 0.
1. It's 0. Okay.
Yeah. And it is.
So do you want Vector to do that, or do you want to do that?
Well, I rolled already, but
okay.
But unfortunately, I rolled a 6. So maybe now Vector can apply a +1 to help out with that.
Absolutely.
All right, good.
Thank you. I should have let you do that in the first place.
All right. Well, it's okay. No, his is afterwards anyway, so that's fine. But yeah, so
did you mention that the ace has the ability to swap in one of their abilities to a roll?
That's an advance they can get. They don't start with that. All right, so you got a 7, which is a partial success, which means you have +2 forward to the vessel's shield. So the next time the vessel takes damage, it's going to have 5 shields.
That's good.
And then it goes back down to 3. So that's what the forward means. It just means like the next time. So next time you take damage in this case. So cool. So now do you want to try your evasive action?
Yes.
Maybe show Vector maybe how to help. Maybe he could help you with that.
I will help with my reserve point, I guess.
Okay.
But I really want to. What's going to get us out of here is getting the professor on board with getting the coordinates sent to the computer.
Yep, he's still working on it.
I will help him.
All right. Now, all right, Vector. Now, I distinctly remember that you were hungover, so you missed this in academy. So I'm gonna basically just do a temporary shut off of all the engines, and then get ready to kind of just almost like a flick, like that, and then hopefully I can fake them out. They'll shoot forward, and I'm gonna do a Mark 24 maneuver to starboard, starboard alpha. So pay attention. All right.
Sounds
good. Sir.
Hey, all right. I generated a 7 total.
All right.
Actually, 7 total.
All right, cool. All right, so I gotta fix it on my computer here. Give me just a sec. Okay, so that's a partial success, which is good. So that gives you avoid the danger, but I choose 1. All right. I don't want you taking damage because you just avoided that. Vessel is put in a different danger. Okay. That sounds like a reasonable thing here. So you avoid the fighters, which is great. This ship that I mentioned that took off from the floating city. It hits your ship, hits the Vespera with a tractor beam.
Ah.
So that's the new danger that you're in. So
All right.
it's trying to pull you back to the floating city. So now you get to deal with that.
Okay, we got to stop that nonsense. But we're never
Yeah.
getting out of here.
Vector, can you get a reading on that energy frequency on the tractor beam? Like we're gonna need it. We're gonna need that if we're gonna have any hope of shaking it.
I'm on it. So
All right.
I'm at a control station or something. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll try to see if I can break the lock on there.
Okay. Well, there's a move called sensor scan that you could move. That sounds you could use. That sounds reasonable for what he's asking you to do. Do you want to try that?
Yeah, I guess.
Or you could just use something like analyze if you'd rather do that.
So
Yeah.
what are our sensors? Our sensors are 1, no 0.
It's a 0 right now.
And is there any way that we can just immediately jump in and just start blocking the tractor beam?
So because your vessel's in danger, you have to do some. Yeah, so you'd have to do something if you can come up with a reasonable explanation of how you get away from it. You could try evasive action again. That's certainly reasonable since you're in danger. I'm not sure the sensor scan would immediately get you out of danger. It would tell you something interesting, but you might be better off aiding the pilot in letting him do
So
something.
I will try to apply full power to the engine so we can break through the tractor lock.
Yeah.
And blast through here.
Okay. So you're aiding him essentially?
Yep.
Okay. And you have a regular relationship with him or a special?
Regular.
Okay. All right. So Vector gives you +1. So if you want, we roll evasive action again.
Real quick, let me ask: Can we choose who we have a special relationship with, or?
So one of yours is listed as a special relationship in your playbook. So it says special, I think, next to it.
But that's got an additional relationship. That's just in lieu of
it's one of the 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't pick that one.
Okay.
I didn't either.
So we don't get it. We have to pick that one, or we don't get it. Is that how it
I mean,
works?
the only thing it does is it gives you a +2 when you aid instead of +1. That's all it does mechanically.
Okay.
So my relationship with Fabian is he must, or she must, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm doing that right. Okay. Must help me find the way out. So
yeah,
get out of here.
I think that's hopefully happening here. All right. So +1 from.
I'm on the console just pumping up the power to the engines.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. All right, what do we got? Have you rolled yet? Michael, what are we doing?
Oh, who's supposed to be doing
We're
this?
waiting on you to roll.
Oh, sorry about that. I lost track of whose turn it was to do stuff.
You're getting a +1 from Vector.
All right.
Or the ship's speed is 1 or 0.
All right. Now I've generated a 10 total to my evade action.
Okay, so that completely gets you away from the danger, and you get a +1 forward against whatever caused it. So if you need to deal with this big ship again, you'd have a +1. However, Professor Ameron now alerts everyone that he has successfully put the coordinates and everything into your other nav, and says you can engage it whenever you're ready.
Punch it, Fabian.
So
we just need to finish that one thing so they have the wrong signal when tracking us. Yep.
So you can go ahead and roll create device there, Valric, and we'll say that Plex is helping you, so you get a +1 from his assistance.
Seven.
7. All right. So on create device, I have to give you an additional requirement on a partial. So you do it, which is cool. Let me think about what that would be. All right. I'll say the additional requirement is the best you can manage is a lesser unreliable version. So meaning that if anyone does like an intense scrutiny of the ship, they can still figure out that they'll figure out that it's a false transponder.
Now, am I aware of this? Or,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I can later on I can work on it and improve it.
You can, or since you have master machines, you can choose to instead mark your uses of specialized tools and not have that requirement. It'll mark all your uses of the tools. So,
is that you like your little nanite things or whatever they were, the little robot?
No. It's just specialized tools.
Yeah, it's one of the equipment items that he starts with.
Yeah.
So he has robot tools and starship tools, and he would have to mark all the uses of one of those. Starship obviously would make the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that because I think that's a good permanent fix. Yeah.
Yep. Well, so the device, no matter what you choose, works for no longer than the end of the next scene. So the next scene will be you guys arriving and whatever you do in Nirvana.
Oh, well, then I don't want to do that.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Okay.
So it'll fool people for some period. I mean, the scene could last a while. It really just kind of depends on what happens, but it's not going to be a super long period of time. Okay. So cool. Okay, so you have that, and then who wants to roll? So the other nav move is a special move that's on, I believe, page 3. Is it on page 3? Yeah, it looks like it's page 3 of the move sheets. It uses int. So who wants to roll that?
I'll do it. I mean,
okay.
I'm not rolling well, but I have a +2.
Does anyone want to aid our engineer?
Let's see.
Or you can wait and have the leader add.
I need to get the very best out of Valeric's abilities, so absolutely I'll.
Okay, cool. All right, so you get +1 from Vector.
Oh, perfect. 13.
Oh, God. Okay. So complete success, your vessel arrives on time without issue. If someone is at your destination, you have the drop on them. Okay, cool. So the partial, basically, you arrive there, but you have to pick a complication. So you avoided that, which is good. So you have successfully extracted Professor Ameron from the floating city. That milestone is now resolved, which means everyone gets an XP. Which is good. And I'm going to cross out our milestone off of my little thing here. I will do a new one here shortly when we have something that makes sense for that. Cool. And I believe since a milestone, do you get all your reserve back, or is it when I introduce a new one?
It is at the start of each session.
But not when you resolve a milestone.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's something else on it too.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
When you rest, regain 1 reserve. When you try to regain reserve at other times, once per scene, roll int, and then you get something. And then when milestone passes, you recover all spent.
Yeah. So that just happened. All right. Cool.
Okay.
So you get all your reserve back. Okay. Great.
I can get reserve back during a scene. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can if you're like desperate and you are out and bad things are happening. You can try. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys arrive in this strange new star system, which is pretty cool. Let's real quick check our drivers' relationships that haven't already been marked for XP. Real quick, so let's go Fabian.
Yeah, so I think I finally managed to tag something.
You must have, because it's all ship stuff, right?
Well, yeah. Certainly, I trained Vector in ship theories.
Yep.
Or I was teaching him how to fail at a maneuver.
Watch this.
So there's that. I don't think I really worked to keep a Valeric in tip-top shape, and I don't think I got Plex to try me get me to try new stuff. But I also
Actually, I'm going to give you the one for keeping Valeric, and because you're all on the ship together, right? Like if your ship had got blown up.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
So let's give you that one.
All right. I did pilot the ship through going to drives. I did pilot the ship through
totally
dangerous
did.
territory,
Yep.
and I did not take control of another vessel. But no, I didn't.
No.
I should have told Vector to hack into that other ship. So that's 3 experience. All right.
That's all right. That's good. All right. Vector, anything?
Give critical advice to help an ally succeed.
Totally. Yep.
See a rational plan through its successful end. So we, I mean,
yeah, I think. Well, so
that one's a
I'm
little
trying to think.
gray.
You didn't get that last time, did you? Because
I took it for last time, but I
Okay.
don't know if between last time and now I get it.
yeah, I don't think you made a new plan. Like it was still kind of the same plan. Like,
Yeah.
get him out of here. There wasn't anything new. Like, hey, let's disguise the ship as this and try to sneak away. Like there wasn't any kind of a new. It's just kind of get out of here, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
I must keep Plex ready and available for action. I don't think
Yeah, nothing really affected him per se. I mean, you didn't do any. Did you do anything that like protected the ship? I'm trying to remember. Well, I don't know. Occasionally, maybe you helped the pilot, which in terms helps everybody.
Yeah, it definitely got Fabian must help me find the way out.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
I need to get the very best out of Valeric's abilities, and I believe I used that.
Yeah, you used a reserve, right, on him? Yeah, so totally. Yep.
that's 2. I got 3.
Okay, cool. What about Valeric?
That puts me at 10.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're ready to take an advance. So that's good. So take a look at those while we're.
Okay.
What about our engineer?
Create or modify a device critical to the team's success.
Yep.
Take a valuable commodity for your future use. Ameron.
Well, you got that last time for that already. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, probably not that one yet.
Okay. Vector must push me to try new things. No.
Well, let's see. He did. You guys worked together to tinker with the transponder. Is that something that your character would have done before?
I don't think we've ever done that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works for me. Yep.
I must help Plex solve a perplexing mystery.
I don't think Plex was faced with any kind of mysteries yet.
Okay. Fabian must protect me from trouble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I am also at 10. So
Excellent. So let's start taking a look at the advances. All right. And Plex.
Okay, I take both of my drive last time, so we'll look at race chips. Victor needs me to watch your back. I think so. Send me to the weapons to
Yeah,
find
okay.
out.
That's fair, because you did fight the... Yeah, I mean, the fighters are threatening all of you guys, so that's reasonable.
Mhm.
Okay.
I must help Fabian destroy something. I did most of destroying. I don't think I have.
Oh, you did blow up a fighter. Yeah, okay. All right. That's cool.
And must take Valeric to a new place. Is a new galaxy a new place?
I don't think... Well, what did you do
I'm
to
not
take
sure.
him there? I don't think...
I didn't do the taking. All right.
Yeah. All right.
It's cool.
Okay.
I get an advance.
Cool. All right. So it sounds like 3 of you are ready to advance. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. So go ahead and take a look at those. Actually, this might not be a bad place to take a short break. That'll give you guys a chance to look at the advances. Please note before you take a look at them that there are some that you can take a limited number of times. Otherwise, if it doesn't say anything, you can only take it once. So there's a few, like the attribute or ability bonuses, you can take a couple times. There's a few others, but if it doesn't say, it means you can take it one time. So, and I'll be back in a few. All right, I'm back. Oh, no, it's like Simon's back. Simon, did Plex advance?
What do you say?
Did you get enough XP to advance Plex?
Yeah, exactly. I got exactly 9.
All right. So reduce that back down. Did you find an advance that you like?
Yep, I took defensive bond, +1 to defend the person I have a special relationship with.
Okay, and who's that?
That's Victor.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, so reduce your XP back down to 0, and then yeah.
I take a companion.
Oh, that's right. You talked about that last time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's a mechanized. It's an autonomous spacesuit that can function like as a robot, but then I can also be inside of it, like if we're working in space in it.
Okay, so it functions like a spacesuit essentially.
Yeah, but it also functions independently. Like it can walk. It walks. It hangs out next to me.
Okay.
And I have a picture of it. I'm gonna post it up real quick.
Okay. Now, have you looked at the companion playbook yet?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
I'm just picking technician. How do advances work?
Advances for the companion?
Companion, yeah.
So it has 2 advances that it can get. One is take on another role. So it starts with 1 role, and so you can buy additional roles with advances for the companion. The other advance it can get is called Tough Guy, which allows it to have a vitality score, which means it can take damage and stuff. And so the default is that it can't really engage in combat per se because it can't take damage.
I get all that. I meant like, how do I get advances? Like, how do I get experience points?
So it works like the ship. So you have to give it XP. So you give it XP off of yours, or other people can give it XP too. It gets XP only from resolving milestones. So the next milestone we get, when that gets resolved, it'll get 1 XP.
Okay. So it's really hard to advance these guys then.
Yeah, well, it depends on how much of a focus you want to make it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys can also give XP to the ship. So if you guys have extra left over and you feel like it, you could throw some towards the ship if you want. Ship advances, it can increase its abilities. It can get new goodies. It can get cool other abilities or moves. Does anybody want to volunteer to give the any XP to the ship? It does get the 1, Michael, if you're back. It does get the 1 from the milestone, by the way. So it should have at least 1.
Oh, thanks for catching that.
Yep. But you can always decide later. I mean, you can decide whenever, if you want to at the end of the session decide, or however you guys want to do it. All right, so we got an advance for Valeric, and we got 1 for Plex, and Fabian got 1, yes or no? One person didn't get 1, right? My guess is Fabian probably didn't because you had the lowest when we started.
Yeah, I'm still working at it.
All right, so we need to find out what Vector got.
I was considering taking minions, but we don't have access to them right now. But who knows? Maybe on this planet.
Yeah, this would be right now would be a weird time for you to all of a sudden have minions.
Yeah, but
I mean, you'll be getting another advance,
and then I could
pretty
have
soon. So
maybe I could select it and then have them come in.
Yeah, or you can just pick a different one now and get the minions later. I mean, you're going to get another advance probably pretty soon.
Can I? Oh, I see. Let's see.
Because you retain whatever's left over from it. So basically 9 XP to advance. You go back down to just subtract 9 from whatever you had.
Okay. I think I'll take danger sense.
Okay. So, what's that?
So while you have reserve, you cannot be surprised by living beings
Okay.
with hostile intent towards you.
Oh, that's from the side playbook. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Living beings. Interesting.
Oh. Yeah. So keep in mind you're limited to, I think, 3 of those.
So Plex, don't do anything.
Yeah, so you can take up to 3 moves from other playbooks.
Oh, 3 moves.
Oh, wait a minute. What does it say? Yeah, it should be 3. Why does it say see the corner? I thought it was just 3. But anyway, it's 3.
So I have
I'm
to
gonna have
select
to-
3 of them right now. Is that what
No,
you're
no, no. You can only take 3 moves from other playbooks total. Like ever.
Oh, okay.
Like the ones that are marked on here in the advances, you can only take it. They're limited on how many times you can take them. Yeah, that should have both of them. I'm gonna have to get my guy to fix this. Anyway, anyway, that's fine. So, if you decide for some reason that you want to take more psi moves, you can. Now the psi has a reserve move that kind of works like your reserve move. So if you do end up taking both, you got to keep those reserves separate somehow, like track them separately because they have to be used. So you can't, you can't use them for both of your moves.
So reserve doesn't count for both?
No. Mm-mm.
So how many reserve would I get if I had that?
Well, the psi move works the same way. So it starts with 3, and then it has a way to get it back. The difference with the psi is that their psionic abilities, you have to spend the reserve to do them. And then if you get a complete success, you get them back. So their moves work a little bit differently than yours.
So I don't have a move to get rid of it, so I just always have it.
Well, no, because you didn't. So the move you took was from the side playbook, but the move doesn't make you take reserve, right? Or does it? Oh, it says while you have reserve. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, that's fine. I mean, that's not hurting anything.
Okay. So yeah, okay.
So you take a negation. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that. No, I'm just saying if you look at the side playbook at the top, their default move talks about build reserve and it talks about how they use reserve and stuff. So if you did decide you wanted to get that later, you just have to track them separately. That's all. But for now, that's fine. I would say if you didn't have reserve from anything, you probably couldn't get that danger sense move. You'd have to either take the side default move first or something.
Well, you can get reserve from defend also. That might be a cool time to have a danger sense.
That's true. That is kind of cool. Actually, I'd be okay with that. There aren't a ton of moves in the game that generate reserve. There's a soldier one that's about like situational awareness. I think that generates reserve. There's defend. There's not a whole lot. There's an ace move that does it. So, anywho, okay. So I think we're good there. And then Fabian's pretty close. How close are you to getting your advance?
3 more to go.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we'll get that tonight. Okay. All right. So your characters have arrived in this Nirvana system. So you don't know anything about it. You're in the middle of space, and you see like there's an asteroid field nearby. You see there's a star really far away, but you can see it. There's probably some planets.
Can I restore, I guess, our power allocation so that sensor goes back up to 1?
I think so. This is a new scene, so I think they automatically go back to normal at the end of the scene.
Except we have -1 sensor because me and
Right.
that erased kind of dismantled some of it.
Yes.
Oh.
So you'll have to fix that, which is that's fixable.
All right.
So
-1 to sensor that was?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it stays at 0 or?
It goes, well, it gets reduced by 1. So, so the modification lasts along the current scene. So all your stuff goes back to normal, except that you have a -1 to sensors.
Okay.
So whatever sensors are normally, it's reduced by 1.
Okay. So
Everything else is back to normal.
okay, so sensor is 0 and then speed is back to -1.
Right.
Really quick, I put a picture of P1 at the bottom of my character column. If anyone wants to look at it.
All right, that's cool.
P1 is the autonomous space suit I created.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Does that have a little human face like that one does?
No, that's when I'm inside of
Oh,
it.
okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Cool. All right. So yeah, so you're in the system. What do you want to do?
Well, I want to repair the repair the sensors for
Okay.
the
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. So you've got a repair move, which you can certainly use for that.
And
Hey, Prof.
I have a technician that's going to help me, a technician companion that's going to help me.
So he's got, all right. So so just so everyone knows, the companion basically is not a full character. He helps either his person, his PC, which in this case is Valor, with some specific roles. So his role is technician, right? So he's got two things he can do. One is repair, and one is sabotage. And so you're helping him. I assume he's helping you with repair is what he's doing?
Yes, and I rolled a 10.
Okay. So just FYI for everybody, so the companion in this role adds +1 to rolls made to repair a vessel. You have to have at least one use of specialized tools on your person, which he does. And you don't have to mark use of the tools. You just have to have them. That's all for him to be able to help you. Okay, cool. So you got a 10, which is good. So on repair, I believe that means you definitely fix the yeah. So
Cool.
any success restore vitality if the device does not have a vitality hole your first function. Okay. So since you got a complete success, I'm going to give you a couple options here. The ship did take some damage. So I'll let you do 1d8 hull and fix the sensors since you got a complete success instead of rolling 2d8 for the hull. You want to do that?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
So normally on a complete success, you could restore 2d8 to the hull. So on any success, you have to choose either restore hull or restore some function to the device in question, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm offering you is instead of the 2d8, which I don't think you really need, you can do the sensors and 1d8 of hull.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and roll a 1d8. See how much hull you get back.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, well. All right.
That's what happens when you borrow somebody else's dice, like Fabian's, and you don't tell them.
Oh, FYI, you also would have gotten a +1 to that move from the engineering bay. So just for future reference, don't forget you guys have that.
Okay. Perfect.
That's also moves to repair the robot too, by the way. If you're in the ship. All right, so the sensors are back to normal. And you've got one more hull back, which is, you're at 8 now, I believe.
I'm going to sit next to Professor Ameron, I think. I'm going to pour him a glass of the nearest alcohol I can find.
Sake.
Man, you guys are hammering this guy with the sake. All right.
All right, Prof. I think we're outside the range of whatever thing you got in your head, sensor. So why don't you tell us your story?
You notice that the signal dampener thing is pretty much toast now, unfortunately.
I remove it for him.
Okay, it's just like a melted piece of plastic.
While he's talking, can I work on this mechanism to totally dismantle it?
Sure. So I'll let you do create device on it because you're basically modifying it to, we'll say, remove it. So let's talk about that real quick. Let's see. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say, so in order to remove this thing, you're basically going to have to render him unconscious. So I'm going to make this be you'll need to destroy / deconstruct to build it. Like that's essentially what, you're not destroying him, but you're going to have to knock him unconscious. You have to turn off all of his cyberware, which will render him unconscious.
Okay.
I restarted him with the sake.
Right. And you will also need to spend a use of either a utility belt or like a medical kit or something. So those are two requirements.
I have utility belt. Does anybody have a medical kit, or should I use the utility belt? I don't know if we have medical. We don't have a med bay, so Okay.
Yeah, you don't have, yeah, because that's a specific item. So unless you guys bought one, you probably don't. I don't think any of your characters start with one.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
could have started with a medical kit, but I
Okay.
started with rations instead.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. Okay. So I'll a use in what? In which one?
Just a use of your utility belt.
Okay.
We'll say you've got some tool on there, the specialized tool that you need in order to do this.
Okay.
And then roll them.
This is intelligence, right?
Yes.
Okay. I rolled an 8.
Okay.
9.
So
I rolled an 8. An 8. Yeah,
okay.
An 8.
Okay. So you create the device. It works for no longer at the end of the scene. So I think what we'll say is because you're modifying a device, you can remove it. That's fine. But I do need to give you an additional requirement because you got a partial. So what will that be? What makes sense? So I think instead of the it's going to take time requirement, I'm going to say that he's going to be rendered useless for a day.
Okay.
So you can either accept that one or use your master machines to mark all uses of your specialized tools.
We'll knock him out for a day.
Okay,
fine.
cool. You can ask him stuff before you do this. That's fine.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to ask him before he gets zonked out?
So how did you find this planet?
Emperor Z came to me. He was aware of my vast knowledge of astrophysics and our universe, and he knew that I had been sending probes outside of the known universe to find new star systems, and he tasked me with this project, this secret project, to find a new star system that would be that would have habitable planets for our people. Which I did, which is this system that we're now in. That is all I was told for the majority of this project. Recently, when I was elevated to noble status, which he seems very proud of,
Good for you.
they asked me, in addition to this, to design, to help these other scientists, it wasn't just him, but to help these other scientists design ships that would be able to travel secretly to this Nirvana system. These ships would have to be able to transport not a ton of people, but hundreds of people. And to do so without really, like, basically a stealth ship. Like, people wouldn't know that it was leaving.
Do you know why this star is not succumbing to the sickness that the other stars in our system have?
No, he doesn't know. I mean, he knows that it's not, but he doesn't know why.
There's no stellar phenomena here?
No, I mean, the only thing he's been able to tell so far is that the other stars, we'll say there's 5 systems. The 5 systems, including the Z system, right? I guess at some point we need to name these other ones. But anyway, the 5 systems of this empire, all of their stars are going to go nova at approximately the same time, which seems, he remarks, as you guys know, it's very unusual. But no, he doesn't know why. He suspects it's artificial, right? But that's all he knows.
Now, is there any prevailing theory as to why the star systems or the stars are deteriorating so quickly?
Well, based on his knowledge of stars, he says that something is causing the stars to implode on themselves, which he's not aware of an external cause for that. Doesn't mean there isn't one. It means he's not aware of one.
Has the Empire... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Has the Empire worked on any projects recently that could possibly lead to something like this?
Not that he's
Like,
aware of. Yeah.
Okay.
And not that your characters were aware of either.
So are there any lost tribes that may be coming back and with some strange technology, or aliens that have cropped up, or sightings of strange things that are unexplained?
So we talked about last time that there's no alien races that are known. So, but just like in the real world, there's lots of people that suspect that there are other intelligences in the universe. That's where you guys are too. So they suspect that there's other beings out there. There's more than just these 5 star systems in the universe, right? They're aware of other star systems, but they haven't been to them. So, for whatever reason, and we don't necessarily have to get into that, but for whatever reason, they have not really expanded beyond these 5 initial star systems that are in this empire. Very well could be aliens out there, but they don't have any definitive proof that there are.
Okay. Anybody have any ideas on how we could find some proof?
Well, proof would be hard to do, but they wanted to do a secret travel here. So maybe if we can do something to just make this place known, this system known, that will really hamper the plans.
Well, you could certainly spend some time learning about this system, because nothing is known of this system, and not officially.
There's a colony here, though, I would imagine. A secret colony from the Emperor.
Probably.
So if the professor and his gizmo in his head alerted them somehow when we arrived, that would be bad. So
yeah.
Just one question, Prof. What do you know if there's anything we need to know about Nirvana, or is it just like it was habitable? That's it.
So habitable means there's planets here that can sustain life either with a colony or with actually just like it has an atmosphere and people can be on it without a problem. So he tells you that there's one planet in the system, or one rocky planet that has an atmosphere. It's low gravity, but it has a breathable atmosphere. So low gravity just means that you'll have to get adapted to it. Like it's just kind of, it's not too awful. It's maybe like 0.8 G. So it's close to what we would consider Earth gravity. But there's another planet, there's another rocky planet, but it does not have a habitable atmosphere. So it would need some kind of either an orbital colony or a shielded planetary colony. There's a third planet that's a completely, as far as he can tell, water planet. Now, he's not been here. This is all his observations, right? There's a water planet that is on the edge of the habitable zone, which is, there's also called the Goldilocks zone. So there's some distance based on the power of the star. There's a distance at which it's not too hot, not too cold. That's why it's called the Goldilocks zone. And so planets in that zone are considered habitable to humans in terms of temperature and everything else. So there's 3 planets. So the 2 that I mentioned, the third one is this water planet that is on the very edge of it, so it's probably pretty cold. He's not sure that that's a good candidate for a colony. I mean, if they had to, they could use it, but it has water, which is obviously important for human survival. But as far as he knows, no land masses. So any kind of colony would either have to be orbital or some kind of water colony or something. He's not sure it's a good choice. So those are the 3 planets that he says are potentially habitable. There's 2 other planets that are gas. There's one gas giant, and there's one that's too close to the star to be habitable. It's maybe super hot. There was also a couple of asteroid belts.
So, go ahead.
Oh, no.
So I was going to say, I would prefer to just meet him head on. Call him and say, hey, we're landing. And we're coming here by Emperor's decree. If I'm assuming that communication cannot get back through, because otherwise it could be detected. So they have to take our word for it, at least for a little bit. Does that sound reasonable?
You don't know if there's any way to communicate from here back to your home system. You're not sure.
So do they have a communication buoy or something, or how do they communicate?
That's what they would need. You don't, like I said, you don't know if there's one here. There could be.
Can we scan for one?
You totally could.
Who's good at scanning?
Well, it uses the ship's sensor ability, so anybody can do it.
Oh,
I think we should do a full scan before we approach them, not just go, oh, they're there and go.
Communications?
Yeah, well, I mean, just get a full scan. I mean, what if they're armed, you know, and we're not?
Well, at this point, okay, so let's just reset. So at this point, you don't know that there's a colony. You think there's one, but you don't have an actual thing to scan yet because you haven't encountered the colony. So you could do a sensor scan of the system to see if there is one. That would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, that would be the first thing that we did, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that.
So I would like to aid whoever is going to be scanning.
Okay, sure.
Okay, what is the role? What is it based on?
It's usually the ship sensors, so it could be anybody.
Okay.
So let's see.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, the ship has probes that give you bonuses, right? Fabian?
Yes.
It's a +1
give
to, what does it add to? It's to...
Let me look up the, let me just get down to the, where's the ship?
Might as well use this. This is like the reason you picked that package.
Add
So.
+1 to sensors when you scan planets and places. That
Okay, well, that's certainly what you're doing. So
that's actually improved scanner array. And then we also have deploy probes.
Yeah, deploy probes is a different. It's a move.
What does it do? Deploy your ship's probes and
it's basically like the
It's like analyze, but you use your ship sensors instead of wisdom. Essentially.
One probe finds something. The GM will briefly. I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it works. It's essentially like the analyze move, except and the other thing is, it's the difference is I have to tell you stuff. It's not a matter if you ask me questions. So it works a little bit differently than analyze. But anyway, so you could choose to do one and then the other, or
maybe we should scan first and then deploy probes if necessary.
The ship also has a move called Scan for Life Forms, which works like sensor scan, you might want to do this after you figure out if there's a colony, but it allows you to do some cool stuff. So,
yeah, perhaps we should scan for life forms first because we might be able to tell right away if there's at least intelligent life. You know, if we detect like technology signals and things like that.
I could detect hostile life.
That's not life detected.
Well, that's only if they're trying to surprise you. It's not like.
Yeah.
Hostile
We
life.
should just have Vector wander around the planets.
Just drop them off and see if anything dangerous.
Kick people and then they become hostile. And
My danger sense is it's hurting my head. You can come get me.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we doing? We're doing a sensor scan, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I would perhaps do a sensor scan of at least the atmosphered planet, the rocky atmosphered planet.
Okay.
And
so did you want to use the scan for life forms move at that point? Like, you'll need to get your ship a little closer. Right now, you're at the very edge of the system, so you'll have to physically get maybe a little closer to do that. You can't even see that planet from where you're at.
yeah,
So
I think
it's there because he told you it's there, but you haven't seen it.
yeah, I would say scan for life forms if we could scan the entire planet. If that's
I'll say that you need to get a tad closer to it in order to do that, but you can
so
do
then
that,
if that's the case, then we should probably scan the system first and then.
Okay, sure.
Because we're outside the system looking in, right?
Yeah, you're on the very edge of it. So it would probably take you a little while to travel through the system. I mean, you have basically like the impulse engines, right, that let you travel within the system without needing to roll that other nav again, right? So you just, you estimate like an hour or so.
Is there a limit to the range of the systems and things like that? Like if we're on the outside of a solar system looking in?
You mean the sensors?
Yeah, the sensors, right.
So I think what I'll probably do, if you do stuff from here, you're going to get very general information. The closer you get to something, you'll get more detailed information.
Okay.
So if you want to do stuff from here, that's fine, and you'll get some, if you get some information which may be helpful.
So I will be aiding.
Okay.
And abetting.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you like? Should I go ahead and make the roll then?
If you want.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So
Somebody's doing something.
Yep. Rolling sensors at +1. And
you get +1 from the improved scanner array, right? Or sensor array.
yes, thank you for reminding me. I've generated a 13 total.
And then, yeah, so definitely. All right. So on a complete success, which is what you have, I believe you get 2 categories of things. Yeah. So you get to pick enemies, environment, hazards, or secrets. So you're going to pick 2 of those, and I'll tell you stuff about it.
Secrets sounds really interesting.
Oh, I think I'm on the wrong. Which move did I just?
So this
do?
is a basic vessel move. So if you go into the moves, it's the second
22.
page. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, whoops. Okay. Oh, I see. All right. Well, yeah. How about shall we say secrets and enemies there?
Okay. Oh, FYI, I don't know if I mentioned this last time. Since you guys got advances, one of the advances on all of your sheets is to enhance a basic or special move. So you see these ones that says enhanced on a 12+, blah, blah, blah. That's what that does. So those don't happen unless you unlock those.
Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be a little box on here where you can mark that you've unlocked it. But anyway, that's what that is. So if you don't have it unlocked, ignore 12+ stuff. Anyway, yes. I'm sorry. What did you pick?
Oh, I think it was going to be enemies and secrets.
Okay. So you're scanning the entire system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So your sensors pick up on the two of the planets that the professor mentioned. I assume you put the professor down at this point.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Put him down.
Well,
Oh,
put him under
the procedure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A knife in the lower spine,
Yeah.
below the neck.
Anyway, all right. So on 2 of the planets that he mentioned, on the Nirvana 2 and Nirvana 3, we'll call them for now.
So Nirvana 2 is the rocky planet with no atmosphere, and
Correct.
Rocky 3 or Nirvana 3 is the water planet.
No, Nirvana 4 is the water planet. So Nirvana 3 is the one that was basically has an atmosphere, has mostly normal gravity.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Check.
So those 2 have structures on them, artificial structures.
2 and 3 have
Yep.
structures.
Which you were not expecting. Well, I mean, you may have been, but your characters I don't think were. You don't know details about them because you're too far away, but if you got closer, you could do new scans to kind of tell more about them. But they have structures on them. There are life forms on all 3 of the planets, 2, 3, and 4. There are life forms on all of those. Again, you get closer, you get more details, but there are life forms there. You don't know, obviously, if they're intelligent or anything, but there's life forms there.
Right.
Life forms could be animals, they could be primitive humans, they could be, who knows. The water planet does have a solid land masses, but they're underwater. So not super helpful, but it does have land masses that are underwater. Which that planet does not have any structures according to your scan.
Mm-hmm.
But it's possible the water is interfering with your scan. I mean, it's always, you never know.
You said land masses under the water?
Yeah.
Like submerged islands, I guess.
Right. Yeah. They're not. Yeah. Right.
Okay, above the water.
No, it's underwater. It's underwater, but it's not. It's not like attached to the ocean floor. It's kind of like free floating islands.
Yeah, you're not sure at this point. It's just you detected there's solid land masses there, but they appear to be underwater.
Okay, so
just think of Earth with a hell of a lot more water.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's
think
see.
of Earth 5 years from now.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what you gain at this point.
where we like to get a closer look at.
Okay, hey, I have an idea. What if we take like satellite imaging of all of the planets and all of the land masses and all of the structures and stuff like that. We stamp the location and directions on how to get here. And then when we go back, we broadcast it and go, look what we found.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's no hiding it. And then everybody can just try to get there.
Okay. That's certainly something you could do. It would take a while, but you could certainly do that.
Mm-hmm.
If the planets don't riot and tear themselves apart, but that can't be helped at this point. Because for all we know, the stars could go up tomorrow. For all we know, right? We still don't know how long.
Right. So the sooner we get the information out to the general population, the better.
Yeah.
So did our sensor scan actually create these topical maps?
No, not yet. No, it'll take a while to do the kind of stuff you're talking about. It's possible, but it will take a while.
So Valeric, you're suggesting we just go to each planet and do the
we do the job that we usually do. That this ship is built.
Yeah.
Probes. We have
these.
Yeah,
we have this probe, so we can launch them throughout the system.
We gave up shields for these probes. We got to use them.
We have 3 probes, right? We got 3 planets. Let's do it.
Well, I from the playbook, it looks like we have like a lot of probes, and because the way the move is worded, it's like if you roll full success, 3 of your probes find stuff, and a complete success, 3 probes each find something of note, and a partial success, 1 probe finds something. So we could be like firing dozens of probes at each of these planets for all we know.
Yeah, let's do it. That sounds awesome.
Shall we go? Which planet should we like to probe first?
I think we should do the one with the structures last, just so we don't
last.
Yeah, just so we don't,
draw attention.
Oh,
we don't want military. We don't want a military.
From on the Gare, both rocky planets have structures.
Yeah. So the water planet first.
And can we pretty much launch them all simultaneously? Or do we have to?
So you'll be rolling. There's a move associated with the probes, so you'll be rolling those. So I don't know that you want to necessarily roll them all at once. You may want to roll and see what you get, and then move on to the next one.
Yeah, let's move planet from planet. Let's not split too much our focus.
So what the probes will give you is a little bit more detailed information about what you're dealing with. The full scan, like what you guys were talking about earlier, will take longer than just rolling one move. Like it'll take, hours or days to do what you're talking about with one ship. So nothing right now, nothing's threatening you. So you could do that. I'm just telling you, it's not going to be one roll and then you're all done.
Okay. And I got a question. How detailed does these maps have to be for them to be believable? I mean, that's really what we're looking for. We're not looking for some geological survey. We're looking for,
if we're trying to establish credibility to convince people to like uproot like everything they know and go to a whole different system, I'd have to say they'd probably have to be pretty detailed, I would guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, think about what Google Maps can do right now. You know what I mean? Like that would probably be enough.
So would you have to build a Google car and drop it on the planet?
Yeah.
No, that's the probe. It just flies around.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And there's also the scan for life forms move, which is different from what we did earlier.
Right. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to introduce a new milestone because I think we have a course of action that we're going to do. The milestone is learn secrets of the Nirvana planets. So I don't want to get too specific because there's some stuff you guys don't know yet, but I think that's good enough for now. That covers all 3 of the planets, so you guys can do stuff with all of those. So since I've introduced a new milestone, you guys can choose new drives if you want to, or you can keep the same ones that you had last time. I'm feeling you'll probably change them, but it's up to you.
I think I might leave my pilot ship through dangerous territory, and I'll do.
Did definitely going to investigate a new and interesting place. That seems like a no-brainer.
I have investigate a new technology or species. Would that work?
Potentially, assuming that those things are here, sure.
Yeah, but that, I mean, okay.
I think I'd like to, before we start our big scanning mission, I think I might want to tinker around with Vespera.
Sure, you can do that.
Especially since you may say I'm driven to try to improve its performance.
I'm just going to keep my same ones. Create a or modified device critical to the team's success and take a valuable commodity. Because the other ones are, I don't know. These ones I think are just general enough that they'll work.
Okay, sure.
For this milestone.
Sure. Remember, you can change those whenever I introduce a new milestone, so that something may come up, where you learn new stuff that may generate a new milestone. And you go, oh, okay, then you change it that time. So, okay. So, okay. So we talked about, it sounded like Fabian wanted to tinker with the ship.
Yes, although just going by the strict wording of the move, it doesn't look like I can tinker anything that would improve sensor abilities unless you just made something up. I can certainly reroute systems, which I'll definitely do to improve the sensor capacity.
One thing I forgot, I did mention this earlier, but we didn't take care of it. So you needed to take care of the maintenance requirement on the ship at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a 2. So we need to extract 2 credits somehow from the group.
How many credits do we have?
And where are we buying the stuff?
Well, we'll say you did it beforehand, but it's per session, so it has to be.
Per session, that's an expensive ship.
Yeah. Well, you need to do stuff to get credits.
Yeah, I think it's only. I believe it'll be 1 credit. Am I reading that correctly?
Well, it's 1 because it's a medium ship.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And then 1 from the engineering. So the bigger ships have a maintenance requirement.
Okay, so new plan. We don't just give up any information. We sell it to huge ass companies.
Did we remember to set up a Patreon before we left? Yeah. So I guess we've got 2 credits we need to do, and I know I'm broke.
It doesn't. I mean, obviously it can come from different people, so it's just it has to be somebody has to pay it.
I provided the ship. I provided the ship,
I have 1 credit.
I'll provide a credit.
Okay.
I do not need credit. Sorry.
Yeah, the robot does not start with any money. So,
So what happens if we decide not to pay it or not enough?
Then you can't use the ship until it's paid.
Yeah, false.
So can we choose not to do the mechanical bay or whatever it's called, the engineering room, and just leave it mothballed and then pay 1 credit if in a pinch?
I guess. Hopefully, it won't come to that, but yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah, it's like when you have the car on blocks in your front yard.
It's also not like we absolutely have to stay here until we go back to another system. We can just jump up and down and continue our mission.
So, all right, okay. So now that we've taken care of our maintenance, I would like to go ahead and I think I would like to route the sensors. Maybe take that off of. Captain, what do you think? Power, weapons?
Oh, you're doing reroute systems instead of tinker?
Yes. Or no, I'm sorry. For the reroute systems rule, just to increase sensors up to 2.
I think weapons is fine. We can change that at will, right?
Can we?
You can, but it's a roll each time, so there's potential for bad things.
And if you get partial success, it's 2 for 1, so you actually lose stats.
Right.
I'd like to do a sound approach when a new scene starts. I can enact a strategic plan. So we'll sort of huddle together, create this plan. We're going to do up the sensors, and we're going to go to the water planet first, and then the other planet, and do the probes, and like we've already sort of established. And so
okay.
yeah.
So do you want to roll?
Yes.
Okay.
So that would be 8 + 1.
Okay. So that's partial success. So what happens?
One ally of your choice adds +1 ongoing to a specific move until they fail.
Okay.
So
So you
I
got-
think our specific move is going to be deploy probe.
I think that's a good idea.
The
Yeah.
move is going to be the probe move.
Yep,
Okay.
I dig it.
and that's it.
So you have who? So you have to designate who's the ally.
That would be Vespa or Vespira, I guess, right? Since that's the move on Vespira.
Yeah, but well, one of the PCs has to be doing it though.
Okay.
Like basically, who's rolling the thing? Yeah, if you want to be Fabian, that's fine.
Fabian.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So you got that, and okay. So did you want to do your? Did you roll your? You didn't roll regrets.
Not yet.
Okay.
Nope, I'm going to do that now.
I'm gonna help him. too.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you, Valeric. So I'm rolling +2.
Okay.
Yes, because it's an intelligence thing.
Yep.
All right. I generated a 4 total. I rolled snake eyes.
So you rolled snake eyes. Okay. All right.
Oh dear.
Okay. All right. So what were you trying to do? You were trying to tell me what you.
Oh yeah, I was gonna divert power from the weapons to the sensors, and I accidentally shot the sensors instead, or something. So
Why are
that's
you
what I-
taking this apart now? We gotta get. We gotta
That's
get out of here.
That's what I meant to do. What happens?
All right. So what happens is you were taking off of weapon, or you were going to take off a weapon and add to sensors, right? That was the idea.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So you are able. You do add one to your sensors, which is
Hooray.
great. But the weapons are now completely offline.
Oh.
Means no worky at all. Like the targeting system is offline. The guns just are drained of power. You're going to have to do something to fix all that.
No. Boy.
In addition,
I think I have a position at the top of the ship where I can just anchor myself and shoot that.
yeah, right.
Can we just install Plex on in the cannon's module?
I mean, you could. Sure.
Again, he Plex is my +1, so maybe I don't want that.
In addition to that, whoever is, we'll say that maybe Vector is on one of the consoles, just kind of monitoring stuff, not tinkering with the ship directly. And you notice a vessel popped out of other space. Not out of the visual range, but you detected it. So it's you don't know where it is, but it appeared.
It's in range.
It's in range. It's in range of your sensors. But you did get the +1 to your sensors, so there's that. But now your weapons are toast.
I will immediately go to work on the weapons and stuff.
Okay, so there's two things that have to be fixed. One is bringing them back online, which you can do with the repair move. The other one is to restore the weapon stat on the ship, which is currently a X. So both of those will be separate repair moves. So you can do those whenever you want. We'll say that you're currently working on that right now. So
Yeah.
in the meantime, what does Vector do about this information?
Well, I will try to zero in on where the ship is, but
Okay.
we need to launch these probes. We're still in the process of launching probes while all this other stuff is going on, right?
I don't think you had done that yet. You were going to. So you could do that now if you want.
No,
Or you
Fabian.
could-
I believe Fabian is launching the probes after he spliced the wires and something fizzled out.
Right. Yeah, something
let's-
unexpected happened. So now
Yeah.
maybe Fabian's like, do you just want me to?
Oh right. Yeah, maybe we should.
And then Fabian and Valeric jumped on the
Weapon.
Yeah, he's
I'll fix this.
yeah.
So while Fabian's firing probes, I will try to track down where the ship is.
Okay, sure. So you could do a sensor scan on the ship if you want.
Okay.
And I believe the ship sensors are what, 2 now?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, these sensors are pretty good.
High def. Yeah, it's high definition now.
9
Okay.
total.
So on sensor scan, that means you get to pick one of those categories of things. And I can
Enemies.
Enemies. All right, that sounds like a good idea.
Hold on. So it's environment. So would that be like where it is? What do these mean exactly in this situation? What am I picking here?
So what you do is you scan something, a location, a ship, or something, right? So you've decided it was the ship, right? And so the environment would probably, in this case, the context would be the environment inside the ship. So I don't know how helpful that would be.
Okay.
If it was a planet, then you'd be like, oh, what's the environment like on the planet? So it kind of depends on what you're scanning.
So I think if this is a noble house ship, and if they're an enemy ship, I would know that yes or no if I picked enemies. So I think that's
yeah. I mean, either that or secrets. I think either one of those are useful to you at this point.
Okay. Let's go with enemies. I think that's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Okay. So so there's definitely life forms. Or actually, there's one life form on the ship, and it's the so the code. So you get the transponder code back from the ship, right? And it says little scorpion.
Hmm. And is this whatever her name was, Shannara?
So I think it's fair. I think it's fair that your character would probably know that, considering you guys were, you know. So yeah, that's the name of her ship.
Hmm. Okay.
The Emperor's daughter is here.
I will. Well,
What
I don't want to jump in
here.
It's a good question.
So I will give her a call, but I think our probe should be launched here. Maybe
Okay.
is the next.
So why don't we have you launch the Fabian? Why don't you do the first probe? You've got a +1 ongoing from Vector.
Sweet.
So it's a total of 3 at this point, which is nice.
8.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Okay. So on a partial success with your probes, let's see.
And we're probing the water planet, Victor.
Are you doing the deploy probes? Okay. So partial success. One probe finds something interesting. Okay. All right. So I described what the probes find. So this planet is teeming with life. There are tons of marine, animals, right? So there's large ones, small ones. Essentially, it seems like very similar. Your characters aren't familiar with Earth, but we'll say that there's Earth-like creatures on your home system, right? So there's things that are big, like whales. There's things that are small, like regular fish and whatever. You don't detect any humanoids, but there's lots of animals. But you don't detect any quote-unquote intelligent life. You don't see any signs of it anyway. So the way this move works, if you do an understand move, which you could do as a follow-up, you would get a +1 to that move. And it doesn't have to be it could be for anybody. It doesn't have to be you. Basically, that would be, hey, what do we know about this species, or I don't know, whatever else you want to learn about.
So my companion, his drive or whatever it's called, is discover a new people or place.
Okay, cool.
So can my companion add his bonus to that person, whoever's scanning or whatever?
Let's take a look. Let's see. So he's a technician. So the technician does not have a role that is related to this.
Right, it's a +1 ongoing.
To
repair and sabotage. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, they're very specific. Yeah. So there's another one called researcher, which is a different role, which probably would help with that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. I picked the right one. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He looks at you as like,
He's probably, or it is probably, paying a lot of attention to the analysis and like looking over your shoulder and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, but the good news is he can help you with these repair rolls you're about to make.
Yeah, no, he is doing that, but he's also really intrigued by like all these new discoveries.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So does anyone else want to try to learn more about these things on this the water planet, or move on?
I'd like to. I'd like to go since we're here. I might as well go. I would like to learn a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, since it doesn't look like the ship's going to be an immediate threat. I hope. So this is. So this will be the analysis roll.
The understand move. So basically, what
Understand.
it's whenever you encounter a new technology or people or something like that, you roll this to kind of learn more about it.
Okay.
And you're getting a +1 from the result of your probes.
And +2 for my intelligence because it is an intelligence move, right?
No, yes,
Oh,
it is. Yes, it is.
okay.
It is intelligence. You have a +2 intelligence? Okay, cool.
Yep, I'm smart.
That's good.
Oh, I generated a 13 total. No, make that a whopping 15 total.
15. Oh, because
Wow.
oh, you got okay. Boxcar.
I understand the crap out of this planet.
Yeah, really. Okay, so on a complete success, I have to tell you something useful and interesting. Okay.
Money. We can make money off of this planet.
Okay. So there are some of these creatures appear to be moving in formation, which suggests at least some level of intelligence. Which, I mean, you might expect from animals.
Well, sea creatures,
Yeah,
right?
But-
I mean,
yeah. But you notice that in addition, you notice that there's large groups of them moving like toward each other, like they're, I don't know what they're doing.
Organized
Like,
patterns.
yeah, definitely way more than a typical like birds
Like a
flying
school
through
of-
the sky where they make little formations, like more than that, and a lot, just
Not a
like
school of fish.
thousands of them doing this, which is unusual.
Like lanes, cars, lanes,
Yeah, like almost like a
geometric patterns.
Yeah.
can we determine sentience beyond these patterns?
No, I mean beyond the visual, like what you're getting. No, and you don't detect any structures, which may or may not tell you. But I mean, typically a sentient species would build structures.
We don't want to do a New World Native American genocide thing here, so that's kind of one thing we should be aware of.
So if you get closer to the water planet and want to do another sensor scan, I can give you more detailed information. So this is still, you still haven't moved any closer to any of this stuff. So you're still shooting these probes from like super far away. So if you want to get closer, you certainly can.
Okay. So, do I get closer, or are you planning on trying to?
Well, let's hold off, belay that order for a moment.
Mhm.
I need to speak to someone privately.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we don't all know that it's the Emperor's daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think Vector told anybody.
yeah.
Right.
So I am going to hit the button or whatever it is and open up a comm channel to the little scorpion.
Okay. Oh, real quick before we do that, I want to have Valak roll one of the repair things he needs to do to fix some of the stuff. I assume he's still working on that.
Yeah.
Remember, you've got +1 from the engineering bay and the companion, so +2 from both of those.
Yeah. So it's a total of a 12.
Excellent. Okay. So so same thing. I'll offer you the same thing as last time. So you can repair one of those, and your ship still has some damage on it. You could repair. You could do a D8 and then on the hull, and then also either restore the weapons themselves or the weapon stat for the ship, or you could restore both the stat and the weapons, but not do any hull. So any of those options are cool with me.
I will do. So, okay. So why don't I fully get the weapons online, both weapons and the
Okay,
stat
and
online.
just not do any hull.
Well, I'll do the whole next. I'll do
Okay,
the
that's
whole
fine. That's fine. Okay.
Separately.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, and then I'm going to switch back to, because I kind of want the illusion that some time is happening.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to Vector. All right.
So so the screen pops up and
Yeah.
she appears.
She does. She appears a little different than the last time you saw her. So how long do you think it's been since the last time you saw her? But we didn't talk about how long you've been kind of, you know, you've been apart from her for some period of time. How long has it been?
Maybe a year.
Okay, all right. So she looks, so when you saw her before, she was kind of this, you know, she's a very entitled noble. I mean, she's the daughter of the friggin' emperor. So she's, you know, she was
Hey, I'm
never,
entitled too.
right. She's even more entitled than you. How about that? But, you know, she was never somebody who, like, she always had people doing things for her. You know, she wouldn't get into any kind of like sticky situations. Like she would always kind of find a way to get out of them, or just because of her privilege or status, like she would never really be caught up in anything. Whatever. Anyway, so now that you're seeing her, she's cut her hair in a not a very elegant way. She has what looks like soot or burns or something on the side of her face. It's not a ton of it, but it's noticeable on this view screen thingy. So it's, you know, something's going on there. And she seems anxious.
Okay.
She says, "What are you doing here?"
Well, I could ask you the same thing. We found Professor, I don't recall his name, Amaron, and and he gave us the coordinates to this place. Your father, the Emperor, he took me off of this list. I'm going to take this information back, and release it to the known systems, and they will all be able to come here and rescue themselves if they
If I'm
have
successful
means.
with my mission, none of this will be necessary. Perhaps you should go home.
What is your mission?
There's something on that planet that I need. I can stop all of this, I think.
Really?
Yes,
Tell me
really.
what it is.
I don't know for sure, but something is causing this. Something is causing our stars to break down.
Yes.
And it is
And there's
another
some
civilization.
information here that can help us identify what that is.
Well, that's what she's telling you. She says there's another civilization that is basically attacking us. And there are artifacts on that planet that she thinks will tell who they are and what they want.
Well, we would be willing to join you, and it would be very nice to see you again.
Who's we? I mean, I can trust you, perhaps, but I don't know who this we is.
You know Plex, of course, because Plex and I left. He helped me escape with my life.
Ah, the robot. Yes.
Yes, the robot with the experimental AI.
He could be helpful.
Yeah, she. Or
She.
he. I'm sorry.
Is it?
Them.
Yeah, it's a he.
Yes. And of course, you remember two of my old school pals, Fabian and Valric.
She. I don't know. She sort of knows who they are.
Okay. Well, you've heard me talk about them. I know they're not.
You're in great danger being here, but you're safer with me than by yourselves. If you wish to join me, you can, but I cannot vouch for your safety.
All right. Well, send me your coordinates and we'll rendezvous there.
All right. So she basically sends you the coordinates for the rocky planet with the normal atmosphere and the slightly lower gravity.
Okay.
And the coordinates that she sends you is a mountain range, basically, on that planet.
Okay. So
it's easy enough for you to get to. She says, beware the natives.
Understood. So once we get off the line, I'll brief everyone as to what happened.
Okay, sure. So
I think I can trust her. What do you guys think?
I'm just amazed that she's here. Wow.
It will be good to see her again, won't it, Plex?
Yeah. I missed her so much.
Just you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be able to stay focused on the mission.
We'll try.
All
Well,
right.
try harder than you did in the academy.
All right. So
I was a kid then. Don't worry about me.
So I'm going to introduce another milestone. This milestone is join Z Sephira, which is her name, on Nirvana 3. So if you wish to change your drives, you can. I don't know if you want to, but so the other one is still active. So learn the secrets of the Nirvana planets. So you can still do that if you want to.
What's the new milestone?
The new milestone is join Z Sephira, which is her name, on Nirvana 3.
So did we have a milestone prior to this that we complete out now? Or
Yep.
Yeah, the extract Professor Ameron from the floating city. You guys should have already got XP for that.
got it.
So these two new ones will, I'm sure, continue into next session because we're probably going to wrap up pretty soon here. So that's okay. So now, like I said, I've introduced a new one. So if you wanted to change your drive at this point, you can. None of you necessarily want to, but you could. So
I'm good.
okay. So what do you guys want to do now? You still got you've essentially done some scanning on one of the planets. The one that she wants you to go to is a different planet that you haven't scanned yet. You know a little bit about it.
Can we leave the probe scanning this planet and then go to the other one and then scan the other one?
Well, you've already basically gotten all the info back from the first set of probes you sent. So that's kind of an immediate. I mean, abstract, it takes some period of time, but you're done with it. So you don't need to do anything else. The full scan that you guys were talking about before will take much longer than that. So if you wanted to do that later, that's not necessary to complete the milestone. The milestone is basically learn stuff about all the planets you guys were talking about. So that can basically, unless something stops you, that can be done fairly quickly if you want to just do the rest of your probe stuff while you're traveling to Nirvana 3. You could do that if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So so you guys are traveling. Do you want to roll your other repair to get back some hope?
Yeah.
Okay. Do that, and then we'll have Fabian roll some probe moves.
What am I? Is it
Repair.
intelligence?
Yes, yeah, intelligence, yeah. Mm-hmm. And your robot has one, and the engineering room has one. So
I rolled an 8.
okay, so that gives you a D8 back to the hull. So I think it's good enough. I think you have to mark these your tools when you get a partial too.
I rolled another 1.
Okay. Let me verify that. I think if you get a partial, yeah, you have to mark these your tools or pay 1 credit or 1 barter.
No, I don't have that. So
mark out. You've got uses of your tools left, right?
Yeah,
Like
I'm
you have a
actually.
barter.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a barter.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, good enough. All right, so ship gets 1 hull back, and all right, so let's fire off some probes. Fabian?
Yep.
You still got the +1 from Vector helping you.
All right.
With the same
here we go.
plan.
I have generated a 7 total.
Okay, so that's a partial success, which is good enough to learn something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the ship stuff. Okay. Deploy probes. Okay, so you just learned something. 1 thing. All right. So this was, which planet were you going for?
Well, if we know about, I imagine I would have started probing Nirvana 3. Does that sound right to people? Now that we know about our funky new epic quest.
We should probably probe the planet we're going to.
Yep, that's the Nirvana 3.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Because the ones that you were interested in were 4, 3, and 2 in order of the distance, the closest to furthest. So, okay. So 3 is the rocky planet with the atmosphere. All right. So you definitely pick up life forms on this planet as well that are. They're around the structures, but also in the wilderness. So you think the ones around the structures appear to be humanoid, but they may not be humans. You don't think they're humans. There's something different about them, different enough to where your probe's telling you that they're not humans. There are large creatures in the wilderness, much larger than people. Obviously, there's a ton of small creatures too. The structures appear to mostly be near this mountain range that she sent you to. You also detect that there may be structures underground. So that's what your probe tells you.
All right.
And if you want, you can fire off that last probe. That'll get you your milestone at least if you want to do Nirvana 2.
Right
Well,
on.
you don't have to, but you can if you want.
Here we go. Nirvana 2 probes away. And that's a 6 total.
Okay, well, you've got your leader.
I will give a +1 to the.
That's a 7 total.
All right, cool. All right,
That's
excellent. Okay, so another partial success. So Nirvana 2 is the planet that was rocky but did not have an atmosphere that was necessarily amenable to you walking around without a suit on. So this planet is volcanic, and it has a lot of active volcanoes on it, and the atmosphere is filled with sulfur and just new gas and stuff. It's really bad. Even with a suit on, there are certainly parts of Nirvana 2 that it's just not, it's going to burn right through your suit. So even the robot would be in danger, just walking around, you know, unfettered, right? So some matter of protection from heat would be necessary to be on this planet for a long period of time. There are, strangely enough, there are life forms on this planet. They're not non-humanoid. They appear to be animals, and a lot of them are flying animals. So you think that they live like on the edges of these volcanoes and other mountains, and they just kind of fly around and stuff. So that's about all you can get from that one. All right, so you have learned stuff about all the planets. I'm going to go ahead and actually give you the second milestone. So go ahead, everyone get an XP for that.
Right.
So learn the secrets of the Nirvana planets you guys have gotten. And the other one we will probably tackle next time. Okay, so we will have you guys, I guess, let's go ahead, and you guys are heading towards Nirvana 3, right?
Do we need to go through the drives and relationships?
Well, so we're gonna do that here in a sec, because we'll probably
that's per session, not per milestone, right?
Yeah, but we're gonna end the session here, so we'll do that real quick. So let's so we'll leave this milestone for next time, which is joining her on Nirvana 3. Now the implication there, because I've created a milestone, means it's not gonna be as easy as just like landing and hi, how you doing? So something's gonna happen. So next time we'll figure out what that is. All right. Yeah, so let's real quick one more time go through our drives and relationships, make sure we didn't miss anything. Let's go with Plex.
I'm not sure. I did a lot. Place. No.
Didn't get anything?
Not since we checked last time.
Okay. You didn't get any? Okay.
I didn't help Fabian destroy something. I didn't take Valerie to new places. I didn't. And Victor didn't need me to watch his back.
Okay. All right. Valerie.
Create or modify a device critical to the team's success.
Yep.
Yeah, you did that?
Yeah, didn't you do that? I think, well, you certainly fixed stuff, so sure, yeah.
Okay. Take a valuable commodity for your future use. The scans, the probe scans.
Yeah, we'll say the information. Sure, okay.
Okay. Vector must push me to try new things. No.
I think so. I mean, you fixed chips before, so I would say probably not.
I must help Plex solve a perplexing mystery. That's this whole project is that. So
yeah,
we've got to give Plex a perplexing mystery.
Yeah, I don't know that Plex has been faced with a mystery yet. So
okay, Fabian,
that one in there.
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying, got to get that one in there.
Yeah, we got to figure out some way.
Yeah,
for Plex to have to deal with a mystery. All right, what else?
Fabian must protect me from trouble. So
yeah, not yet. Okay. All right, Fabian.
Yes, I'm not certain that let's see. I kept Valeric in tip-top shape.
You guys weren't really put in danger in that scene.
Yeah, not really in Nevada so far. I haven't really. Did I train Vector in ship duties here? I feel like it was mostly when we're evading the.
I mean, he just made a plan, and then you guys did it. Like it really wasn't. Some of these are going to be hard to do if you're just exploring, which is basically what that scene was.
Sure. Yeah, I think this will be a relatively uneventful phase for me as far as experience is concerned.
All right, and then Vector.
So discover new information about a group or culture.
Sure.
Give critical advice to help an ally succeed.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I must keep Plex ready and available for action.
Yeah, nothing really threatened Plex, so I don't think so.
I need to get the very best out of Valoric's abilities.
Yeah, did you help Valoric with anything?
Mm,
I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Because the bonus that you gave out for your plan was really for Fabian. Like, it didn't affect anyone else, really.
Fabian must help me find the way out.
No, definitely not yet.
Okay.
So if let's say he didn't give me, like, he didn't help me, but he was like egging me on, like not egging me on, but just like, good job, keep at it. Would that have been enough?
Yeah, if you guys had role played some interaction, sure, but I don't think that happened. So I mean,
No, I'm just
for future reference. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you don't have to he doesn't have to give you a +1. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
So
let's do the end of
I got
session move.
3.
I'm sorry.
It looks like I got 3 then.
Okay. So let's do the end of session move. Like last time, we'll do this. And if you guys agree to these things, agree yes, then everyone gets Mark XP. All right. Did everyone trigger at least 1 drive?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So everyone gets 1 XP. Did everyone trigger at least 1 relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, at the first milestone. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I did.
Did you just survive despite incredible odds?
It's for Imperial fighters, the incredible odd.
I don't think so. If you tangle with that big ship more than you did, I think maybe, but I don't think so at this point. You didn't do a ton of that kind of stuff. If you got lost in the asteroid field, maybe that might have been exciting. All right. Did anyone undergo a transformation, physical, mental, or spiritual?
My companion did.
Well,
It exists now.
All right. Did any of us make a new ally or turn an enemy into a friend? That's an interesting one. Do you guys think the Emperor's daughter is an ally?
I definitely think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that one. Sure, everyone gets 1 for that. Finally, for every milestone in the past, for good or ill, each PC gets 1 XP. You guys passed 2, so that's 2 more.
I think I'm trying to remember if I added the XP when we actually passed the milestones.
Yeah, is it 2 more than the milestone that we actually passed?
If you're successful, right, you get the 1 immediately, and then this end of session gives you 1 for any milestone that you have in the session.
Oh.
You get 2 if you're successful at it, yeah.
So I advanced again.
Also, make sure the ship is getting, it should be getting 3. Well, I think, did you already give it the 1 for the milestone before?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it should have 2 for the 2 milestones that we did, and then 2 more right now. So the ship should have 4.
Cool. And I'll probably voice a few
and then
more.
you can give some to the ship. So now would be a good time if you guys have extras to throw some at the ship.
Yeah.
If you want. I mean, it's up to you. But
I'll
it has
put 3.
4,
I'll put 3 to the ship.
Okay, I'll put 3 more to get it in advance.
Oh yeah, they'll do it. Okay.
Okay. Well, you'll only need to do 2 unless
I'll do only 2 then.
Yeah.
So if I add medic to my companion, that is only bonus. It doesn't do anything independently. It's only offers bonuses.
Yeah. The companion only helps. It doesn't have its own it doesn't take actions, right? So
yeah.
I don't know that that thing is necessarily super helpful right now unless someone gets a move that restores vitality.
Okay.
It sounds to me like if you wanted to add another role, the researcher one might be good for the companion because that would add to the stuff that you guys tend to, at least so far, have been doing a lot.
Okay, I'll do that.
But think you guys have until next time. So maybe take a look and see what else you want to do. So if you're going to add something to the companion, you'll need to throw a bunch of XP at him.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw all my XP at it.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, by the way, the companion would also have gotten XP from the the milestones that happened since he joined. So I think he would get 3 because I think he would get so he joined in the middle of the session. So he joined after the first
milestone.
But he would get the credit for learn secrets of the Nirvana plants, and then the end of session 1, I'm going to go ahead and give him credit for because it says all milestones that passed during the session. Okay. So we'll say he has 3. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Okay. It's technically end of session happens at the end of session, so I'm gonna give you that. So okay. So don't have to decide on if you did anyone else get an advance? I heard Plex got one, right? Or somebody did.
Both Fabian and the ship will be advancing.
Maybe I'll give you some XP to the ship. How much can I give to the ship?
I mean, as much as you want.
Yeah.
As much as you want. I wouldn't go nuts with that, but
yeah, it is have enough for an advancement, but there's no reason not to start accumulating for the next advancement.
I will tell you that you're probably less likely to use the ship next session a ton. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what you guys do, but just keep that in mind. Like you're probably going to be doing stuff on the planet at least most of the next session. So if you want to think about it practically, you may not want to go nuts putting stuff on the ship right now, but it's up to you guys.
The ship has been upgraded. What did it cost you? Everything.
All right. So yeah, like I said, think about what advances. Feel free to communicate amongst yourselves if there's something that you think the group lacks that it might need. You can pick it up as a move from another playbook. That kind of stuff is cool. Feel free to take a look at the other playbooks, see if there's anything interesting there, or other packages from your own playbook that you didn't take. Those are all up for grabs. So let me just real quick. So the ship has an advance. Everyone has at least one advance at this point. I think some people have 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
Does everyone have 2 except for Fabian?
No, I only have 1.
Okay. All right. So okay.
Well, if you count the ones for his ship, also that I think you have 2.
Right. Yeah. I mean that's kind of yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So good. So like I said, on average, in my experience with this game, you get about an advance and a half per session on average. So that tracks about right with what we've gotten so far. So. All right. Cool. So I just want to real quick just see if there's any comments, concerns, questions, anything from anybody before we end for the night?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. Well, you're easy. You guys had fun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this shapes up with our new adversary. I'm glad. It's cool that we were exploring. I dig that. So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as a GM, so part of my responsibility is to kind of give you guys opportunities to do the stuff that through your choices are telling me you want to do. So your ship choices were explore stuff. You guys aren't super combat heavy, so I don't want to necessarily put you in a ton of combat. I mean, it's going to happen, but it's an action adventure game. It's going to be combat, but and obviously for Plex we want combat. But if all of you guys were combat characters, it'd be a much different game. So. So I'm trying to, as best I can, kind of shape it a little bit in that direction. So I hope that you guys are able to appreciate that. And okay, so we will see you guys. Little scorpion.
Companion.
We'll see. Don't spend an advance on that right now because she's not necessarily going to be that friendly to you. We'll see.
All right.
All right. Cool. So all right, guys. So we will see you guys next time.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.